Good morning, Gills fans, and welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV. It's Monday, time for the Monday review. On my own this morning, as you can see, I've got no Boz with me, he's otherwise engaged, so I shall be flying solo. We won a football match at the weekend, so we will have a look back at that, recap Southend, and then we will have a look forward to tomorrow night, another massive game as we travel to our dear friends Swindon town. And as a little bonus, as I'm in a good mood, there is a little competition this morning as well. Prize details will be shown at the end of this video. Anyway, first up, let's have a look at the papers from the weekend and today. We will start with the Football League paper. Quite an obvious headline, very catchy as always. Josh is a right man for the job. Obviously, over the last few weeks, Josh Wright has decided to turn into a League One Frank Lampard. It's great to see. He's playing with the shackles off since he had the captain's armband taken away from him. And another double. And more importantly, obviously, it gained us 3 points. So that's great to see. There's a lovely little bit at the bottom of the report regarding Phil Brown and his meltdown afterwards regarding his perceived look at the disgusting, unprofessional, awful, shocking performance from the man in the middle. Bless him. Anyway, let's have a look at the Medway Messenger Monday edition. We made front and back page. On the front, they're just on the left. Relief for Gills boss as team finally win. AD Pennant looking very happy with himself, punching the air in delight, which was great to see at full time. And if we turn to the back, obviously celebrated the win, which he said in his interview afterwards, but AD no time to party. Obviously he was in yesterday, he said, preparing for tomorrow's game. Have a look inside. New faces play important role. He's obviously referring there to the likes of Joe Quigley and Zesh Raymond, who I thought were both very, very impressive. Both contenders for man of the match in my eyes. But there were plenty. I think I did some match ratings of my own, and I went Nels 7, Jacko 7.5, Zesh Raymond 7.5, Max Amar 7. Waggy and Paddy, I both had 6.5. I thought they flitted in and out of the game or started slowly, but by no means that any of them were awful. Josh Wright, I gave 8. Obviously he scored 2 and ultimately won us the game. Lee Martin, another solid 7. Rory, I've just given a 6 because he didn't do too much wrong, but he wasn't on long enough, unfortunately, before picking up an injury. And up front, I gave Cody a 7, who I thought adapted his role well, and he was involved in both goals. Joe Quigley, I gave an 8. Very impressive considering he hadn't played for so long. I thought he was a real handful. You can see that for the first goal. He's a bit of a bulldozer. People didn't want to mark him, didn't want to defend against him. So yeah, fingers crossed that continues. And we only made one substitution, and that was Josh Parker, who obviously came on for Rory Donnelly. I thought he took a while to get going, but he was more of a threat second half. I gave him a 6.5. So you may agree, you may disagree. In terms of Adrian Pennock, I thought he showed some great character in sticking to his guns and wanting to play the 3-5-2, despite having the likes of Bradley Garmston, Deji Osalaja, Mark Byrne, Chris Hurd and Bradley Dack all unavailable from Tuesday. Obviously, we looked at the team lineup at the time and thought, not sure where we're going with this, to be honest, but there were some people that put in some very good displays in positions that they weren't entirely comfortable with, and that was great to see. The likes of Ryan Jackson, again, and then the 2 that have not played, Zesh Raymond and Joe Quigley. So yeah, all in all, it was a very good afternoon's work. Obviously the red card helped, but I thought we were very impressive first half apart from that, aside from maybe the first 15 minutes where a couple looked lost in terms of the formation. But once we sorted that out, we looked fine. Generally, we were solid defensively, and we looked to threat going forward. And I thought from the penalty to half time, there was only one side in it, regardless of what Phil Brown said. Let him go and whinge and cry and let him worry about his side. He's obviously had a pop at us, which is fine. Good luck to him. It's of no concern to us. The biggest thing was 3 points, and just a brief look at the rest of the Medway Messenger. Spot on Josh is scoring right on time for Gills. So obviously more stuff on Josh Wright's newfound goal scoring form. Raymond answers Gills' defensive problem. Again, I've just touched on that. He was very, very good. AD speaks of his pride in all the players, and he also gives some praise to Bournemouth loanee Joe Quigley, who was very impressive on second debut, I suppose you can call it. Anyway, now let's have a look ahead to the Swindon game tomorrow night. We travel down to the county ground tomorrow, obviously for another midweek fixture. The games are still coming thick and fast. Still a bit of a relegation 6-pointer in all truth. We're both struggling, but we both won Saturday. Obviously our win against Southend, and they won away at basement side Coventry. But aside from that, they've not won in 6 at home in the league, drawing 4 and losing 2. They don't score many. They've only scored 3, but they don't concede loads either, in fairness. They've only conceded 5 in their last 6 home games. So it could be another tight, sort of niggly, bitty, horrible game to watch. But like we've already touched on previously, it's all about points at the moment and getting over the line. So from our point of view, fingers crossed we've done that on Saturday, and we can garner some extra confidence and momentum and go there and put in another good performance and pick up something. We haven't won in 8 away in the league since Walsall back in November. We're very aware of that. We've drawn 3 and lost 5, scoring 7 and conceding 14. But bear in mind, 4 of them came at Bolton in 1 game. And since AD's taken over, we've obviously gone to Bradford and drawn, and Sheffield United. But on the flip side of that, we've struggled a little bit against teams that are in and around us, and we've lost at Coventry and at Oldham. So yeah, in terms of points, they've taken 4 from their last 18. Winning only once, that was the game on Saturday at Coventry. We've only won once in our last 6 as well, but we're slightly better off in terms of points with 7 from 18 because we've drawn 4 times in that period. So we've only lost 1 in the last 6. So the win was crucial. As much as AD kept saying that, you know, performances were getting better and we was improving, we needed to win, and we've done that now. So it looks a lot rosier, 7 points from 18. If we can pinch another point tomorrow, it's another step in the right direction. If we can win, then great, that'd be excellent. It'd be more daylight between us and the bottom 4, hopefully. In terms of team news, obviously we'll await tomorrow. We've had a few out, so hopefully a couple of them might come back into contention. If not, you might be looking at a similar sort of team. Obviously Rory will be out as well now, so it could be 6 unavailable. But depending on the severity of injuries to like Mark Byrne and Chris Hurd and Bradley Dack, we might have a couple of them back, so fingers crossed. In terms of a prediction, now that we've obviously gained our first 3 points under AD, it's great, but our away form's not very good. To counter that, their home form, as we've said, isn't very good. I'm going to go for Swindon 1, Gillingham 1. I think I'd take a point, to be honest. And then if we can build on that again when we go to Bury on Saturday, before the 2 massive home games, then it's another step in the right direction for me. Anyway, as I said, competition time. To celebrate us obviously winning at the weekend, I have managed to acquire not 1 but 2 signed programmes. I have one signed by the legend Cody McDonald, and I have another one signed by England's #1 Stuart Nelson. So all you will need to do to have a chance of winning both of these is 4 simple things. Follow on Twitter, retweet the tweet when it comes out regarding this video, like this video on YouTube, and subscribe to the channel. That is it. You don't win one, you win both. Simple as. I will give it a day or so. Let's see if we can get to like 50 plus likes or something like that. But we'll give it at least 24 hours, and then I will announce the winner either tomorrow or Wednesday on Twitter. So good luck to everyone. Hope you all enter. Please, please, please keep liking and subscribing anyway. I had a look this morning, 97 subscribers in 2.5 weeks. Thank you very much. That is absolutely brilliant. I'm glad, obviously, you must be liking listening to me rambling on a little bit, otherwise you wouldn't subscribe. So if you've got friends that are Gills fans or football fans in general, let them know as well. It's absolutely brilliant. I can't thank you enough. And as always, until next time, up the Gills.